Hey, what's up? Guess it's time for another squirrel. Well, whatever. It's kind of a stupid thing to say. There's no schedule to these things. They just sort of fall out of my head whenever they feel like it, I guess. But oddly enough, I'm not really looking forward to this one. Usually, if I've got something on my mind and I feel like listening to myself talk about it for a while, I'll just dump one of these out into the world. Sorry, I was just waiting for the train to go by. It's a little bit loud. I don't feel like screaming. Train squirrel. Derailed me already. Fuck, 10 seconds in. This is going to be a good one. Okay, so the reason I'm not really looking forward to doing this one in particular is I'm kind of going to talk about myself a little bit and this whole random squirrel thing and why I do them and why I like to talk about and believe in some, honestly pretty bizarre shit. Um, I guess before I go anywhere, the first thing I wanted to say was, even though I'm kind of blunt about my beliefs and I don't sugarcoat them, and I just kind of say, hey, this happens when you do this in a dream, or, you know, if I say that, hey, consciousness doesn't end when your body stops working, well, I'm not trying to say that I'm right or that I know more than anybody else can find out for themselves, or that's just the way it seems to me because of the experiences I've had and the crap that I've learned and the books I've read and whatever. So that's just the way it seems to me. It's just the way I look at the world and how I kind of make sense of it. And mm, so yeah, like I'm not trying to say I know my answer is the only answer, or my beliefs are the only right ones, or what anybody else believes is stupid, or I'm not trying to be that kind of person. So there you go. Um, I guess that's my disclaimer. I'm just babbling about shit because sometimes I like to babble about shit. I might begrudgingly admit I kind of like the sound of my own voice sometimes when I talk about this stuff, but who doesn't, I guess, once you get used to it. I gotta admit, the first few times I did this, hearing my own voice coming over the videos, I was just like, oh god, this is horrible. I can't stand it. But anyway, I've gotten used to it, so here I am, just kind of wandering around the dockyards. I was gonna get going about, the shit I talk about, and so, oh yeah, right, so I'm supposed to be talking about me, I guess. Um, so, well, hey, there's my forehead. There's a truck. I should watch where I'm going. See, that's what happens when you spend too much time with your own head up your own ass. You tend to run into shit and not see stuff. Um, all right, back to it, I guess. Even from a very young age, like I'm talking like 2, 3 years old, I would remember having terrible nightmares or very strange dreams, or and things like, I remember one nightmare I was in bed and blankets were tucked down tight and I couldn't move. They weren't really, but in the dream they were. And lobsters and crabs started crawling up from, like the crack in between the sheets and the edge of the mattress, on all sides, and started climbing all over me and biting me with their pincers and their creepy ass mouth parts, and taking little pieces out of me. And then it would just kind of go on and on for a while, and I wouldn't be able to move or scream or anything, and it would really freak the shit out of me. I wouldn't wake up. And this is, I guess, the weird part and the sort of the embarrassing part to admit, but when you think about the fact that a 2, 3-year-old child is having this sort of dream, it's a bit bizarre. And here comes another fucking train. Pardon my French, but always scout your locations first. Then again, I guess if I scouted first, this wouldn't be a random squirrel. It would be a planned squirrel. It doesn't have the same ring. And I wouldn't get distracted all the time in the whole fucking... Anyway. So, I wouldn't wake up until these little pincer son of a bitch, squirrels and lobsters. Squirrels and lobsters. Jesus, that was a Freudian slip. Crabs and lobsters would be crawling all over me and biting little pieces out of me and go on and on. I wouldn't wake up until one of the little bastards bit me right in the nuts. And it's like that was like, you know, the only place that seemed sensitive enough that I had actually woke me the fuck up. And I had 3 of these dreams. The first one was lobsters and crabs. The second one was beetles and praying mantises. The third one was like centipedes and something else. Oh, tarantulas. That was the worst one. Oh, that was horrible. And I don't know why the hell I had these dreams. I don't know why there was 3 of them. And I don't know why it was those pairings of bugs. I was, you know, too young to remember what might have influenced me in this dream. But I kind of got sidetracked about the dreams. It's been a while since I thought about them. But I had other dreams and experiences and unusual occurrences throughout my life. And even at that young age, some of the dreams I had would impact me in such a way that I would remember them for a good long time. I mean, obviously I've remembered that dream for, well, more than 30 years, let's say. And it's still clear in my mind. And I had another dream, I think, when I was 5 years old. And I was walking around and I was lost in these underground tunnels. Like, I'm going to go away from the train. I was lost underground or in these underground tunnels, or a sewer or something. And it was, you know, dark, obviously, and it was kind of lost. And I came across, you know, this apparition, this person, I don't know what it was. And he looked pretty much exactly like the main character from my Little Gods videos. Black hat, you know, a black suit, long black coat. Similar to what I'm wearing. Different shoes and pants, obviously. I don't know. I didn't really look at his feet, to be honest. No facial hair, no head hair. Black eyes. And a stare you couldn't escape from. And when I encountered him, he just seemed to reach right into the center of me. Like, right in my solar plexus. Like, just, you know, right in the center of my gut. And grab a hold of my insides. Not literally, like, not my intestines, but like, you know, me inside of the body kind of thing, and start pulling. And it was one of the most powerful and kind of realist feeling sensations I've ever had in a dream. And it's part of where that character in those videos comes from, is that experience. So that, and you know, having a very open-minded mother who was literally a hippie in the 60s and who was a teacher most of her life, so she's very good at showing me how to find out stuff that I wanted to know for my own sake. And why am I hearing somebody's radio? Radio Squirrel. You know, I watched a lot of strange movies and read a lot of weird books. And my mom read me a lot of crazy stuff too, just for the fun of it. I'm talking like Lord of the Rings and Chronicles of Narnia, that kind of stuff, you know. Arthur C. Clarke, you know, Star Wars, that kind of stuff. Never-ending story, you know. So I mean, I was always encouraged to enjoy my imagination, to think freely, and be able to, what if there is alien life out there? How does reality work, you know? And how does, you know, from everything from like a, you know, a quantum physics level, like down the bottom. And I'm not saying I get it. I'm just saying that I've read it and it seems to kind of explain some stuff. But man, it's oh wow. I'm probably never going to do a quantum physics Squirrel, because I honestly could never put that much of it into words to make it make sense to anyone else, because it only just barely makes sense to me. But everything from down on that level on up through like classical physics, you know, the kind of stuff that makes car engines run, and molecular stuff and organic bodies, and it all kind of functions on the same reality, obviously. It's fundamentally energy behaving in different ways. So I thought, well, you know, how would that affect a dream and a mind, and what about out-of-body experiences? maybe every once in a while I might have seen some dead people. You know, as far as I believe, there were striking experiences, and I see no reason to discount the validity of the feeling of the experience. I had somebody ask me once, well, how do you know it wasn't just your imagination, or you weren't just dreaming, or it wasn't just because you took 5 or 6 grams of magic mushrooms at the same time and then decided to lay down while listening to Pink Floyd. Anyway, well, Pink Floyd, Squirrel. What? Why? Can't I enjoy statues? Like, fuck. Just trying to have a talk here. So, I got completely derailed by that. Jesus. It's funny how at least for me, I get to talking about this stuff, and it just sort of sets my mind wandering off in various directions, and it always leads me down some sort of thought tunnel where I want to think about something that, oh, hey, that sparked an idea. But it's kind of off topic, and it sends me off track, and you know, it's like a squirrel wormhole, and I can't help but fall into it. Wormholes are a cool fucking thing, too. You should read about wormholes and black holes. They're fascinating. That had nothing to do with anything. I might even wrap this up here, because I sort of wound down. I guess what I was trying to say is, what I'm trying to do with these random squirrel videos is I'm not trying to say I'm right. Or I'm not trying to say that just because I say a certain thing about how, you know, you can lucid dream and do that kind of shit, that it's going to work for you. I just hope that by doing these random blabbers about random shit, that it'll get people thinking, get them curious, make them find out this stuff for themselves, you know, come up with their own answers, walk into their own random electrical boxes because they're too busy thinking about random stuff. You know, hopefully it's kind of entertaining to see me stumble about in this world here and babble about far out stuff that maybe normal people don't usually talk about because they're afraid of being seen as weird. I've grown quite comfortable with being seen as weird over the course of my life, so I'm okay with it. Most people who take the time to get to know me figure out that, yeah, I'm weird and I believe in a lot of weird shit, but as far as anyone can tell, I'm not crazy. So I guess if that makes you feel better, cool. Even if you do think I'm crazy and you watch these videos and it just chills you out for a second, gives you something to think about.
See you at Honkers Karaoke next week.
No, thanks. My singing voice is terrible. Then great. I'm happy you got to experience some random squirrels, and I got to share some crazy thoughts, and, you know, give people something to think about. So, fuck, San Andreas, or Los Santos, I mean, is a strange, strange place. I'm gonna go for a stroll somewhere, or maybe go for a drive. So for now, stare off at the moon, enjoy the warm summer breeze, and say, have a good one. Be excellent to one another. Don't stop thinking.